Hi, I'm Derek
And I am Suzanne.
with Living the Wholesome Life, and we're going to talk a little bit about the doTERRA Slim and Sassy Challenge that they do each year, starting from January 1st through March 31st.
So I'm going to take it over, and I'm going to be the one asking the questions, playing the interviewee this time. And so I just have to say, Derek, everyone is like in total awe how much weight you have lost with the Slim and Sassy competition. So first of all, tell me what prompted you to do the Slim and Sassy competition this year?
There were several things. One, you've kind of asked me to make sure I stay fit and healthy so that I can be around for a long time.
Definitely want you in my life.
Because you love me and want me to be around.
Yes.
And two, I was getting uncomfortably heavy. I was the heaviest I've ever been in my life, and it makes it hard to do a lot of things that we like to do.
Okay, so you were just prompted to do the competition because of greater health.
Yeah. I mean, the competition comes every year, and I think in the past I said, oh, I'm going to do this. And a few days into it, I'm like, I don't care. But for some reason this year, it just really felt, I've got to do this.
Got to do it. Is there any prizes if you win, for the people who win the competition?
There's good prizes.
There's good prizes.
So that's part of the incentive too, but it's more of what kept me motivated, I guess, but or a lot of what kept me motivated. So the grand prize winner gets an all-expense trip to Hawaii, plus $1,500 cash, plus a Nike gift card. I think it's a $100 gift card. You get a professional photo shoot. You get featured in the Living magazine, which I don't know if that's that much of a benefit, because everybody's going to see my before picture, which is really embarrassing. And then you also get 750 product points from doTERRA. That's for the grand prize. First prize is...
It just kind of goes down from there?
Yeah, is same thing minus the Hawaii trip. You still get the 1,500 and all that. You don't get featured in the magazine and so forth. And then they go down to seven levels basically. All get some sort of cash and point combination prize.
Cool. So I love that you were sharing your story. Like a lot of times when we go from one point to the next point, we're like, I don't really want to talk about the first point. But would you like to share like your top weight and then what you are now?
Sure. So, and
I think this takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage to share our stories. So we hope that you guys will be kind on this.
Yeah, because the before photos really are pretty embarrassing. And I remember if I was walking up to, going to an office building or whatever, and it's got glass doors, and I would see myself walking up, I would think, oh my gosh, I'm just getting big, and so forth. So I was at 232 pounds is what my weigh-in was when we started the competition. So a few days before January 1st was the weigh-in, the pictures, all that kind of stuff. So I started at 232, and 3 months later, weigh-in was 189. Now I didn't do the point whatever. I don't remember what my weigh-in, 232 point what, but the ending was 189.2.
Okay.
And so forth, but I didn't track the points.
So for us people who are super bad at math, how many pounds did you lose?
43 pounds.
Okay, 43 pounds in 3 months?
In 3 months.
Okay, I just think that is so amazing. So as I'm with Derek and people are coming up and saying, oh my goodness, Derek, you are just looking so good, which you are. The next question everyone wants to know is, so how did you do it? So first of all, talk about what doTERRA products you used.
I used quite a few. I used the Lifelong Vitality, which are awesome. It's their vitamin pack that I love. I used the Slim and Sassy, of course, and I used both the oil and the capsules. I'm not a huge fan of the flavor, so the capsules are my preferred way, but it's not always convenient to carry them around. And so I'd have the bottle and I'd put a couple drops under my tongue throughout the day. A lot of people love putting it in their water and drinking it.
I love putting it in my water. since Derek started the competition, I'm like, oh, I don't want to get left behind. So just in the last little week or so, I've tried putting it in my water, and I actually love it.
Yeah.
I love the taste. I think it just gives you like this incredible fresh taste in your mouth. So I love it.
And I'm not a big cinnamon fan, and that's what I taste in the Slim and Sassy is the cinnamon. So for me, I'm not huge on it, but I do the capsules and I do the liquid, the oil under my tongue. I also did the...
So what does the Slim and Sassy have in it? Or shall I say?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the Slim and Sassy, it has lemon for cleansing. It has peppermint, which kind of keeps you full, feeling full longer.
It's also good for digestion.
Absolutely. It has ginger, which is super good for digestion too. Cinnamon, which is an amazing thing for helping to regulate your blood sugar. And something else.
Oh, there's probably a couple others.
I think there's
The
at least
one thing that the Slim and Sassy did for me is it really helped, when I did it regularly, it helped to keep the cravings away. Because I am definitely a muncher. I would eat morning till night.
And a lot of times you work at home too, so like
Yeah.
the refrigerator and the pantry is right there.
Yeah, so it was really easy to have chips and dip and you know, like a cracker and a artichoke spinach dip or the sour cream and onion dip, you know, stuff like that. Or a plate of nachos or whatever we had for lunch that day, go back and get second helpings and have it right there. It was really easy to munch. But the Slim and Sassy really for me helped to eliminate a lot of those cravings. So other doTERRA products, the GX Cleanse, the Cleanse plus the PB Assist, which is the probiotics, putting all the good stuff back in. I did that. I did the Terrazyme to help with digestion.
It has enzymes that help you
Yeah,
digest.
helps you absorb nutrients from the foods. Zendocrine, which is kind of a cleanse type as well. I use the lemon a lot. I use lime a lot, grapefruit a lot, because I really increased my intake of water, and to where I was doing around a gallon a day, which for me was an awful lot. And so I love the flavoring to it, the grapefruit, lime, lemon.
So I think you're supposed to drink, from what I can gather, and I love researching, but I think you're supposed to drink half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 100 pounds or 200 pounds, you'd want to drink 100 ounces, half, or up to your full body weight in ounces.
Yeah.
But a gallon a day, depending on where you weigh, is great.
But I typically probably wouldn't have done 16 to 24 ounces in a day. So I really increased the water intake. What other products? Oh, the Trim Shake.
So tell them your morning routine, basically when it comes to like the Trim Shake and the Terra Greens.
So I think a few times I've tried some of the other powder things when people said, oh, you need to try it, it's so good. You know, I try a sample of it and they never tasted good to me. And so with the doTERRA Trim Shake, I thought it's going to be a lot the same way. But what I did is I would cut up a banana, a full banana, and then I'd put a scoop of the chocolate, because everything's better with chocolate.
With a scoop of chocolate.
Chocolate Trim Shake in there. I would put a scoop of the Terra Greens, which for me...
I wish that's not open, is it?
It's not.
Okay, so Terra Greens.
Yeah, I wish we had it. Terra Greens
go ahead.
has got all the vegetables and such in it. It's a
ton of vegetables.
It's a powder,
Yeah.
and for me,
Tons of fruits too.
if I had to take it on its own, I couldn't do it because I'm not a greens type of a person. I open it up and smell it, and where you would smell it and think, oh, that smells so good. It smells like I just cut the grass, and so forth. So
I have to interrupt here a little bit. So he loves doing the Terra Greens in like his chocolate shake that he makes, and he loves it, and the children enjoy it too.
I can't taste it at all when I do it that way.
Okay,
so
I like just to take like a scoop of the Terra Greens and put it like into 16 ounces of water, and then just drink it that way. And I think it tastes super good that way.
Yeah,
so,
everybody's
and I
different.
know,
Yeah.
like one of my friends loves to do it that way too. So sometimes you like it in a shake, sometimes you just like it in water, and some people like it in juice, whatever you like.
Yeah, everybody's different.
Yeah.
But so I would do the chocolate Trim Shake the Terra Greens, and then I put a scoop of peanut butter in it too. So I had banana, the chocolate, the peanut butter, Terra Greens, and then I would use, instead of the regular milk that we get,
Instead of the regular dairy milk,
yeah,
whole
instead
milk.
of dairy milk, which is about 130 calories a glass, an 8-ounce glass, I would use the 30 calorie per 8-ounce glass of the almond milk. And so I would blend that up, and that's what I'd
That's your
have.
routine.
Yep, that's what I'd
Okay.
have for breakfast.
Okay, so basically that's all the doTERRA
I
products
think that's
you
about
used.
it, yeah.
And you really thought that they helped with the weight loss.
Oh, yes, and the other one that I used was cilantro. And I really didn't catch on to this, and it's because Suzanne is a great researcher. She found a video on cilantro that talked about how it helps to shed excess water weight. And it helps flush the cells out and so forth, so they're not storing water and so forth. And so I would put a little bit of cilantro in my water, and it really wasn't bad. I thought it would be nasty tasting, but it wasn't bad at all.
No, I actually like the taste of cilantro too.
Yeah, and so.
Okay, so those were your doTERRA products that you used.
Uh-huh.
Tell us about like your exercise routine.
Okay, so I did increase exercising, and I used to walk every day. I would walk every day, and so forth. But I did two things a little bit different. I started doing a HIIT routine, which is high intensity interval training, and it's 20 minutes long. So you go 1 minute on and then 1 minute rest. 1 minute on, 1 minute rest for 20 minutes. So I would do 5 exercises and then I would repeat it.
So if people wanted to do your exact HIIT routine, I'm
Not-
sure you're not going to get
No,
up and
I
show
won't
them
do
right
that.
now. But like, what did you do?
I would do jumping jacks for 60 seconds. And I've got an app on the phone that times it and starts the timer over after 60 seconds.
Okay.
And I would do about 74 jumping jacks in that minute.
You
So
counted.
I counted.
Woohoo.
So I would do jumping jacks for a minute, then take a minute break. Then I would do push-ups for a minute, do a minute break. Then I'd do burpees for a minute, and I'd do a minute break. Then I would do leg flutters, where you lie on your back and you keep your feet barely off the ground and you just flutter them back and forth, maybe 6 inches up and down.
Okay.
And then take a minute break. And then I would do, I guess, kind of high knee steps, where you bring your knee all the way up to your elbow and you do that. You do it for a minute. The idea is to get your heart rate as fast as you can, as high as you can, in that 60 seconds, and then take a 60-second break. So that's what I would do.
Nice.
And I did modified, which means, like with burpees, because of my weight, my back always hurt. For me, going all the way to the ground, squatting all the way down, and then kicking the legs out, bringing it back in, then jumping up, that would hurt my back. So I did modified, where like I do it on the stairs, where I wouldn't be going all the way to the ground. I would put my hands on something about this high and so forth. So I did modified on several of them. But that's what I would do.
Okay, so tell the cutest thing when it comes to your routine.
Well,
Or shall I tell it?
depends on what you think is cute.
Well, okay, like, I just love that not only did Derek basically do that for his health, but like he got all of our boys at home. So we have Marshall 17, who's 17, and Caleb's
15.
Caleb's 15, and Clancy's 13. And maybe I'll just say the name. You can just
Wesley's
say the age.
9.
Right, and so Xander was usually still asleep in the morning when everyone else was doing it. So we got our 4 boys up doing this with them, and I just admired that.
Yeah.
I loved that the boys were exercising with their dad.
And I can tell a huge difference from when I first started doing it on day 1
Okay.
compared to doing it at the end. I was far more capable at the end than I was in the beginning. But I kept on it and doing it, because the important thing is just to raise the heart rate. The other thing that I would do is I would do, depending on the day, a 3 to 4 mile run.
Okay.
And some days I would do both the HIIT and the run, and then I got to where I was doing one or the other for the most part. But occasionally I would do both. And on the run, again, I'm modified, so I would run for 2 minutes, walk for a minute. Run for 2 minutes, walk for a minute. and that's the way I do it. And again, big difference between how I started and how it finished. Marshall, our 17-year-old, went with me a lot in the early part, and then when I started doing Diamond Club, I was traveling a lot, so he couldn't go with me when I was traveling. And then, although I always take one of the boys, he had so many dance things going on, dance competitions and such, that he couldn't travel with me till very recently. But because of the travel and his dance stuff, he wasn't able to go with me for like the second half.
Right.
He went with me this last week, and he's like, Dad,
He went running with you.
He went running with me this last week, and he's like, Dad, are you running faster than you used to? And I said, yeah, I'm running a lot faster than I used to. He says, I can tell, because he was having to really work to keep up with me. Anyway, so that's the exercise side.
So that's super cool too, because I love that he always either took Marshall or Caleb or Clancy, and so that gave them like a good 45 minutes, hour long, whatever it was, to connect.
Yeah, so I would, and that's the thing, is I always took one of the boys with me. They would exercise with me in the mornings. They would go on the runs with me, and when I travel, I always take one of them with me. Occasionally Suzanne goes, but most of the time I've got one of the boys with me, so it's nice that way.
Third, did you do anything else for exercise?
Oh, I also did a little bit of strength training. I was never as consistent with it as I wanted to be, and we just had a couple of 15-pound dumbbells, and then towards the end I got, our other son had our 30-pound, and I got those back. And I would do a little bit of strength training, never consistent enough as what I wanted to do, but I did do some of that.
So if you did strength training, like how many minutes do you think you do?
Oh, 15 minutes.
15-minute max?
Yeah, yeah.
So, super cool. So we've talked about doTERRA products you use, and we've talked about your exercise routine. What about, did you change your eating habits?
Yes, I did, a lot. Because I think that probably has the biggest impact.
Okay.
What they say is your water intake, getting the right, getting adequate sleep, and then your food is the next biggest aspect. So I went from eating a lot throughout the day to, I would do the trim shake in the morning. I would have a modest lunch, but it wasn't like I was on this really strict, I can only eat this type of stuff diet. I mean, it would vary.
You would eat whatever you wanted.
I love to cook, so I would eat what I want. If I was cooking eggs and bacon, or eggs and sausage, or rice and sausage, like a yellow rice, black beans and rice with sausage in it, stuff like that, or hamburgers. So
you basically just ate normal?
I ate normal, but I kept it in more moderation. And so I wouldn't just eat and eat and eat. If we did stop at a fast food place,
Which we did. Yeah, if we were out and about.
Like, for example, if we went to In-N-Out Burger, I'd get a double cheeseburger, but I'd get it animal style, protein style, which means no bun. It's wrapped in lettuce leaves. And I actually think it's better that way.
I think it's really good that way too.
Yeah, and so, but I wouldn't have the fries to go with it, things like that. I ate smarter. I also incorporated more salads in the evening time. And I've never been a huge salad fan. There's some vegetables that I like.
You make it like
salad.
a super good salad though.
Yeah.
Like his spinach salad is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is. So I can eat a lot of that.
People ask him to make it for family functions. So.
But there's an Asian cabbage salad that we started eating that's really good. And I like asparagus and Brussels sprouts now, and stuff like that. So I'll make a stir fry with onions and peppers and stuff like that in it.
Okay.
But it was never, I wouldn't say we've done very heavy meals at dinner time, but still average. We'd cook some salmon or rice with whatever, stuff like that. But I also wouldn't really eat past about 7 o'clock at night.
Okay.
And in between times is where I eliminated a lot of the snacking. I was really good about the sweets. I didn't hardly have any sweet treats. I went on a scout camp and did have a banana boat.
Okay. You gotta have a treat every once in a while, right?
Oh yeah. but I was really good about not doing the sweet treats.
Okay.
Made sure I didn't have any soda, and I was never a big soda drinker, but I would have a soda every now and then. So I eliminated a lot of those as well.
Amazing. So my last question for you when it comes to this weight loss that you did is, are you unusual? Or do you think anyone who's following a good, healthy protocol can lose it?
I'm absolutely not unusual.
Okay.
No, anybody that was consistent at it, and that's the hard part, is being consistent at it. I'm thinking, okay, day 1, day 2, that's going to be easy. Day 3, I'm going to start getting really hungry and starving and everything else. It wasn't as bad as I thought, but it was definitely more difficult the second half of that first week. By the time I was into the second half of the second week, it wasn't a problem at all. In fact, if I ever ate very much, I felt like I way overate.
So you might want to warn the people, if they're trying to lose weight, doing healthy eating and healthy exercise, that the first 10 days is going to be the hardest.
Absolutely, absolutely. After that, it really wasn't terribly bad. Again, when I started traveling with Diamond Club and you're eating out a lot more, it's harder. So what I found that I did that helped me a lot, because again, I love to eat. I love to cook and I love to eat. When we would go out, we'd go out for Mexican food.
Okay.
I typically order the triple combination, and I love a chile relleno, a cheese enchilada, and a tamale.
Uh-huh.
And I still order the same thing, only instead of eating an entire basket of chips and salsa first, and then eating the entire plate, because we would sit there and talk.
We'd sit there and talk. Yeah, that's what you do.
That's one of the things we do. We go
Yeah.
out at least once a week was our goal, and we go out to eat a fair amount, and we'll just sit there and talk. We'll have a notebook and we'll talk about whatever, but I'll just sit there and keep eating until it's gone. So this time, what I would do is, as soon as I was full, I would then box up the rest of it, and I'd put it under the table or under the chair or beside the chair, whatever, so that I wouldn't just sit there and keep eating it, because I didn't need to. I was full. And whereas in the past, even though I was full, I would just keep eating it because it's good, and so
Mexican
forth.
food is really good.
Oh,
but
it doesn't matter. Mexican, Italian, Chinese, Vietnamese, Thai, you name it, doesn't matter.
So I think the number one thing that I have seen throughout this whole Slim and Sassy competition is the total increase in willpower and the way, how good you feel when you meet your goals.
Oh yeah, it was really good. I set a very, very aggressive goal for the challenge. I set my goal at 185. I don't think I realized I was as heavy as I was when in my head I'm thinking, okay, 185. So that's 47 pounds in 90 days. That's a really aggressive goal. I didn't get there. I got 43 pounds. So I was within 4 pounds, which I feel really, really good about. But there are so many other things that I had as goals, as far as eating more healthy, exercising, drinking the water. I met all those goals along the way. And so that was really good. It's also nice to see the change in pant sizes and clothes and things like that. One of the rewards is you get to go get some new clothes.
A new wardrobe?
Which I haven't done yet. I got a little bit. So before starting the challenge, I was a solid 40-inch pant. And depending on the pant, sometimes they were a little snug, and so forth, but I was a 40-inch pant. So right at the end of the challenge, we went and got some pants, and I got a pair of dress pants at 36, and they fit really good. I got a pair of jeans that were 36, got home, tried them on, and they're a little bit loose.
They were just way too big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in that jean, I'll probably be a 34.
Yeah.
So I'm a 34, 36 pant size now instead of a 40, and so forth. So at the end of the competition, you've got to take your after photographs. So I went to my drawer, and since it's been winter, I haven't had shorts, been wearing shorts. So I get my shorts out, and I couldn't find any to wear, so I end up using one of our 20-year-old son's swimsuit
There you go.
that I fit into in order to take the pictures and so forth. So I've got, and it's easier to see if I stand up, but then I'm not in the camera shot. But, so these are the pants that I wore last summer.
So like this is where your waist is cutting off now.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can see that.
I don't know, maybe.
You either can or you can't. Anyway.
So, but these are I'll raise them up a little higher.
Okay, so his waist is cutting off like right there.
So these are the shorts that I wore last year at our week-long scout camp, where we went and hiked in Zion's National Park. So don't fit me at all. They're basically brand new shorts from last year, but now I get to get rid of them.
Right.
So
Okay.
anyway, any other questions?
I think we covered everything. Is there anything else you want to say, or shall we go on to rapid fire?
Oh no, we can move on. Anyway, I guess in wrapping up, I'm really glad that I did it. I'm really glad doTERRA does this challenge every year. I know there's a lot of other people that do it, and it helps a lot of people. So I'm glad they did it. But my biggest thing that kept me going through the whole thing is Suzanne. She's my biggest cheerleader through the whole process.
I think you're being kind.
No, you were encouraging as far as you're doing great, keep it up. I may have spent more time exercising than what you liked at times, but you were very encouraging and positive and supportive through it. So thank you.
Super cool. Okay, so let's go on to rapid fire. Do you want to start, or shall I start?
Go ahead.
Okay, so my first question for you is describe to me, we need to get your phone, just a minute.
Oh, that's right, we gotta keep it to a minute.
Keep it to a minute. Okay, so describe to me your favorite childhood vacation with your family.
All right, let me get the timer up here just a second.
Okay. I know that everyone probably had some amazing vacations, and we'd love to hear about yours if you want to talk. Post them in the comments.
Yep. Okay. So,
Okay.
Probably my favorite vacations that I remember, and the reason I say this is because we did vacations in series. So every year for 7 or 8 years in a row, we went to Mexico, and then same thing for 7 or 8 years in a row. We'd go up to Durango, Colorado. I grew up in Phoenix area, and so forth.
Where in Mexico would you go?
We would go to
Rocky Point?
Rocky Point is what they call it. I was going to say it in Spanish. But,
Oh, okay. I didn't know it in Spanish.
we'd go to Rocky Point, which is just in the Baja coast. So we'd go there, and there was 4 families that would go, at least 4, sometimes more, and we'd all take our little pop-up tent trailers, and we'd put them in a diamond shape, and the canopies would be extended towards each other to kind of fill in the middle, and so forth. So we all just kind of hung out together. Okay, anyway, so there's my 1 minute. Okay. Ready for yours?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have unlimited money.
That's a nice little dream, isn't
Yeah.
it?
What you go shopping? What is the one outfit you buy for yourself?
Okay, so I'm gonna flip that. That question. If I have unlimited money, I'm not gonna go shopping. Okay, I do like shopping, I have to admit. But if I have unlimited money, I'm not gonna spend it on an outfit for myself. I think that I would do something for some humanitarian cause. I really love the underground, what it's called,
Operation Underground Railroad?
Yeah, Operation Underground Railroad, where they are rescuing women and children who have been kind of kidnapped or coerced into sexual slavery. So that right now is one cause that I would give my money to. Yes, absolutely. But an outfit for myself, a dress. I'd probably buy a dress somewhere, but probably at the DI, so it's really not going to cost more than like $7.
They may not know what the DI is.
Oh, thrift shop. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, if I had unlimited money, I would want to do the most that I could with it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Are we doing 1 or 2 questions?
2 questions.
2 questions.
Okay, so ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hit it. Okay, let me tell you the question first. Okay, so what are your 2 favorite radio stations to listen to, whether it's music or talk? What do you like listening to and why?
Okay, so I listen probably most to talk radio, news stations, and it doesn't matter. I'll flip around between, so I don't know, I probably have one that I use more than most, but there's a couple of them that I flip back and forth to. So whether it's Glenn Beck, Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, Michael Medved.
So you like hearing about politics?
Yeah,
You
I've
like
drawn a
being
blank
up
on some of
that?
the other names. Michael Reagan does so on and so forth. Yeah, basically just current events, politics, things like that is what I mostly listen to.
Okay.
Again, the last few months I haven't hardly listened to much because I've
You're
not been home a
traveling,
lot.
right.
And when I am home, I'm home, and I work from home mostly.
Right, unless you're in court or something.
Yeah, even though we're at my law office right now, I work from home mostly, so I don't listen to a lot of it lately.
Okay.
Okay, so again, this may not mean much for you, so again, unlimited money, what car do you drive? And I say that knowing you're not much of a car person, so.
What car do I drive? I don't know. Like right now, we have a 15-passenger van that I loved. That was my dream car for the longest time because I wanted to fill it up with kids. Like that was my dream. We got the 15-passenger van, I think when we had 4 kids, and it was our dream to fill it up. And we kind of did. We had 9. So when their spouses come, like we could fill it up. But I always have liked a Hummer. Like I think you would just feel indestructible in a Hummer. But I know that your favorite car, well, maybe we'll save that for a different conversation.
Yeah, this is yours.
Yeah. I really don't care what kind of car I drive. But I do like Mercedes. I guess I have to agree, just because I think that they are super safe and they last super long. And Derek can fix basically anything, and he has taught like Marshall and Caleb to be able to fix almost anything too.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, when we buy a car, we pay cash, right?
Mhm.
We don't like going into debt for that. So okay,
Okay, that's it.
yeah, just a safe car.
So, I'm Derek.
And I am Suzanne.
Keep reminding you to keep
Living the wholesome life.